I know because when I say something that people don't want me to say, it's all over the internet. On the other hand, it's not a very effective tool for people who've actually come to the meeting. Let's say you make a note. Gentleman here has a piece of paper, he's making a note. What you really want is that note recorded digitally, and you'd want it actually sequenced so it was recorded precisely where it was made in the context of the video of this session. And you could send it to a friend and say, Ballmer made no sense at this point. And it would take you instantaneously to that point in the discussion. So these things are all coming. They're evolving. I had an opportunity. I've been traveling a lot this week. Yesterday, I was in Poland, and I met with the leaders of two of the big media companies, and we all actually agree there will be no, within 10 years, there will be no newspapers, there will be no magazines, there will be no books, and there will be essentially no TV. And you'd say, what are you really saying? I'm saying all of these media are going to be delivered digitally, and they're actually going to merge and come together. When you read something on the internet, is it a magazine? Is it a newspaper? Is it a book? If it's got a video in it, is it a TV show? You don't really know. And you could say, okay, Steve, don't be silly. 10 years, that's not going to happen. Okay, 12 years, it'll happen. It'll take maybe some of us being old enough that our children are dominating the media business by then. But that's the direction in which things will head, is all content will be available and will happen digitally. So there's a lot of innovation, and people are investing in these things today. The thing I'm perhaps even most excited about from a fundamental factor is what we call natural user interface. Some people refer to as artificial intelligence. Computers today make you learn their language. File, open, blah, 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 blah. Search engines don't do that. Search engines let you type in whatever, I was going to say garbage, but whatever you want to type in, you type in and something comes back. And people really like that. Now, half the time you go to a search engine today, whether it's us or Google or anybody else, you don't actually get an answer to your question. And that's not precise enough for controlling a lot of functions. But what we'd really like to get to is a world where in any program, you can type or speak, if you prefer to speak. Some people actually prefer to type. You type in what you want to have happen. We have a number of business people here in the room, and say you wanted to look at sales by region of Germany, by product, by year. Well, today, if you describe that, you'd probably either go to a spreadsheet, go to a web portal in your company, or maybe call an analyst or a financial person or an IT person and say, find that for me. What you really want to be able to do is just type that into just the way I said it. Just type it in and have that thing go get the information, bring it back, put it in a spreadsheet, and put it in a form where you can chart it, graph it, pivot it, do whatever you want with it. That's possible. It won't be this year, next year, the year after, but it'll be 5, 10 years. People ask, what comes next? We have the PC, we have the phone, we have the internet, and we have graphical user interface. We're going to get natural user interfaces. And those things are going to be more and more important. The second thing that I would highlight is the convergence of what we think of as almost 3 or 4 different worlds today. There's the world of the PC, there's the world of the mobile phone, sometimes we think of the world of the internet as a completely separate world, and then there's the world of television. And these things will come together. You will have one body of content and information, one set of applications that you use seamlessly across PC, phone, TV, and web. And that's actually pretty important. So say, for example, let's take a simple one. Contacts. We all have a set of people we're friends with, names and addresses. We have one on our phone, Most of us have a separate one at work, a separate one in email. If some of you play with our Xbox Live game, you may have another set of friends in your entertainment life. Someday, actually, we'll all be sitting watching television, you with some friends. Maybe you're watching, I don't know, the Euro football finals, and you want to say, you know, hey, Achim Berg, who runs our business here at Germany, hey, Achim, did you see that kick? Wasn't that wonderful? And you want your TV to have the intelligence to wake up, know who Achim is. You don't want to have to enter Achim's name into the TV and the phone and the company directory. He's just Achim. And you want that same body of information. Your friends, your contacts, your interests, your preference. Now, some of you may say, hey, look, I want to keep my work life separate from my personal life. You should be able to do that too. But then you still want to have the ability to control these things independent of the device or where you're using them. You want to have the best of the technologies that we associate with the web today, with the best of what we associate with the PC and the phone. The phone moves with me, the PC can do anything, and the web's got the whole world of information. And how do we get these things to play together so they don't feel like islands? So you can feed your PC with the best of the best. Why do we not really browse the internet very well from phones today? Apple did a very nice job. They're competitive, but they did a very nice job with the iPhone. And yet the iPhone proves we don't quite have it right yet, because now people are building applications that are really just front ends to websites. It's still hard to move across the full set of these devices. These phenomena will really transform business in some pretty powerful ways. Bill Gates gave a speech 15 years ago. It's still one of my favorite speeches he ever gave. The theme was information at your fingertips. Today, I think you'd want information and people at your fingertips. How do you get at all of the world's information and all of the world's people simply, and electronically? Well, in business, this is a big deal. You know, particularly in these times, travel budgets are hard to come by. How do we connect people, connect information, and let people interact without having to come together physically? We talk about technologies like virtualization. Every IT director in the world is under pressure to lower budget. I talked about that. But they're also under pressure to do more, to help the business. Casper and I were just talking here, just 1 minute. He said to me, look, we need to talk as much about the value of IT as the cost of IT. And I think that's exactly right on. You know, in many industries, the only way we'll see innovation is through IT. I know we're not all happy with the financial products of the world right now, but every new financial product is essentially a piece of software that keeps track of a bunch of financial transactions. When we think about advances in pharmaceutical research, the thing the pharma industry is most excited about is using new high-performance computing techniques to model the body